Hey YouTube, Gundam here, welcome back to Space Engineers. Today we're taking a look at a new ship, a very good one, for the SMDC. This is the Exhumer. It is a mining support vessel. Now what does a mining support vessel entail? Well, exactly what it says on the tin. It supports a mining operation. Now, we have the Badger next door, we have the Crucible segment, and there's a Mamba sitting in between them. Just for sizes. Now, taking a look at the vessel here, you notice, well, first off, you'll see a significant amount of thrusters for forward, and well, to stop the ship. There's actually some more hidden inside. Along the side here, you can see a few turrets, not many, just like the Badger. However, they aren't capable of firing quite as easily around the ship, so you have to be careful of that. And that's okay. There's oxygen farms on the side. Obviously the name and the nice flashing lights. There's the bridge up to the top, the crew quarters on deck 2 and deck 3 here. No, technically deck, well, 3B, because 3A is a little second. No, actually just deck 3 here. This is a walkway and the rest of the ship. Several side thrusters for a good amount of air. A few reverse thrusters, not reverse, those are forward thrusters over there. Plenty more here, and of course a pair of Sage industrial thrusters. Although I think these are blue and they're supposed to be red. I'll have them blue, because I see some. Ha ha ha. Now, always count to me to forget one little thing here. What I forgot was changing the color of these. And done. I never get everything right when I do a recording. I always remember something later on. Now, taking a look at this ship from the bottom, you will see the only thing of primary importance is right here in this middle area. You have spotlights to tell what's looking at. Basically, you find an area, you find an asteroid, you park this thing on top, you get the mining vessels out, you activate the spotlight so it'll help them see, and then you switch out the gravity a bit and just suck everything up right into all those collectors right there. Just pull it all in. It's a nice little ship. Over here we have a Badger for size comparison. The Badger isn't necessarily very big, but the Exhumer is significantly bigger. You can see the Exhumer for length, starting from the door going back. The Exhumer also for height, where the Badger is 5 high. This is 5 for the majority of the body instead of just most of it, but not all of it. And this also has 3 more up as well. Not including turrets, of course. Length, total length that you saw, it was already a bit more there, and this being equal on the back means that this is longer by 7, I believe. Yeah, 7 or 6. It's 6, not including the spotlight. It is 6 blocks longer. It's generally 2 blocks or 5 blocks higher, and it is a bit wider, where this is a total of 7 wide. This one, not so much. This is 9 wide. So, let's get rid of the Badger. Sorry, buddy. Goodbye. There we go. So, there's the Mamba there. The Mamba can easily fit inside the doors. Well, you gotta be slow around the doors, but we'll worry about that in a minute. Let's go inside from the primary airlock right here. So from the primary airlock you can see just a little bit of the front. A nice spotlight. Double airlock to here, the hangar. From the main hangar you can access the rest of the ship through there, or you can go up the ladder to the primary viewport and hangar control. A couple of LCDs in case needed. There's actually a bit of room here for the hangar control. And then you have this. This button opens that. This button opens there. The rest control this. The proper sequence for opening the doors: shut off the interior lights, activate the warning lights, then open a hangar door. let that door open. Grab whatever you want to put inside it. Primarily it's going to be filled not with combat ships, but with mining vessels that it carries around. Bring them inside. You have to watch the length, so parking them will be a little tricky. You bring them down and then you dock them. I'm going to keep this undocked for now. And I'll actually take it back out in a minute. To the other side. Oops. So, when you've completely loaded and locked down, you start by closing the door. Wait until the door is completely closed. Then, once that is done, you disable the caution lights and then enable the interior lighting. And you're done. Now, of course, you go in reverse if you want to get back out. Now, you notice there's a single connector here. This connector is meant for the ships to connect to. They have to go sideways. That, you know, I do. By the I have indestructible blocks on, but that's. Yeah, I'm gonna pull this off to the side. I have to remake my first 3 vessels because they're not quite in the ideals of Sojourner. Sojourner calls for their ships to be highly mobile and agile. My 3 starter vessels are not so. So we'll go back inside. Close the door. Make sure it closes all the way. And then disable those and enable those, and you're done. So, heading down the ladder and to the rest of the ship now. Cycle the door. Conveyor system for the turrets as seen there, which is nice. Hiding behind this conveyor is the primary gravity generator for the ship. Above us, 3 gravity generators to deal with all of the collectors. Oxygen system here to pressurize the ship. This entire midsection is actually one solid unit. Here we have some controls. This is the gravity generator for the ship, although it's broken, of course. So, I believe it's ship gravity generator. So, from here, what isn't broken on this ship? Yeah, the connectors. Button 4 is broken. There we go. So button 4 will have to be fixed later. So this disables the ship's gravity generator. This activates the collector's gravity generator. And this will activate and deactivate the collectors themselves. So make sure everyone is ready when that happens. Now let's go up this ladder here to the crew quarters. We have the nice refrigerator, this kitchen sink, the stove and oven with counters, a few tables here. Of course you need coffee, and there are several beds right in here. Which reminds me, I need more lights. Again, I am forgetting things. Yay me, right? I don't think so. There we go. So, you see there's a refinery here. There's also 3 assemblers and an arc furnace. Anything and everything you pull up can be brought to there. This is a nice little turret. Well, the viewport to show the turret, to show the front of the ship. Good little bit so you can see while you're resting. Come in here, you have some privacy from the outside. Not much, but it's there, and you can sleep. Oh, okay, there's not much from the back. Nice big refinery here to take care of all that ore that's coming up, so you don't have to have so much going into the cargo ships. you can stay a lot longer. It's recommended to go in cycles though because of your reactor reduction. What am I talking about? We'll get to that in a minute. The captain's chair, the pilot's chair, both up here. Let's take the ship for a spin, then we'll take a look at the rest of it, since I'm already here. As you can see, forward thrust doesn't appear to be too good on this. However, that's not quite all there is. This ship weighs 2,293,509 kilograms when empty. 300 megawatts of power, 96 thrusters, 31 gyroscopes, 6 landing gear. Button 1 is for the lower view. No, wait, no, it's not. Button 1 is for port view. Button 2 is lower views for the collectors. Button 3, see, yeah, there we are. You can see that shading there. Button 3 is for starboard. Button 4 is the landing gear. Button 5 is the lights for those guys. Button 6 and 7 is the gravity. You can change that as needed. Button 8 is actually the landing gear on top. And button 9 is the reason this ship was moving so slowly. Activating and deactivating the Sage thrusters. First off, reverse thrust, as you can see, doesn't take too long to go reverse. Left and right, not too bad. Going down, not shabby. There's more thrusters on the bottom, so going up isn't bad at all. Now, rotating, as you should know by now, all my ships can rotate very, very well. With 31 gyroscopes, that's easy. It's kind of a bit to control, but that should be expected by me and my ships. Now, what about that forward thrust with the Sage thrusters enabled? You use up 87% of your thrusters, but as you can see, it gets to speed very quickly. Turn it back around. Turns very, very smoothly, and line it up, and goodbye. Whee! Very, very, very quick. That's the idea of Sojourner, to be faster. Well, for some of the ships at least. Make sure you disable those Sage thrusters. I'm pushing the entire station. My bad. And disable the Sage thrusters on you. I hit it again. I'm so glad indestructible blocks are on. I'm gonna have to rotate that, but apart from the ship. Whoops. We're gonna go take a look at the rest of the ship now. You have to be careful of that. Know your ship, alright? We have some of the cargo containers, by the way, here. And, okay. Heading to the back of the ship now. We head to the reactor room. On top of there and down below is the rear turrets. There's a single large reactor. 6 cargo containers for it. You have access to put additional reactors if you want. You can have 3 small reactors. In fact, how about I just do that right now? I'm going to change the color from green though. 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. And there we are. We now have 3 reactors instead of just 1. Big one. We have 3 others that are smaller backup reactors, which is useful, but they're all in a single room, so it can be knocked out. In the back of the ship here, we have the Sage thrusters on the side, some reverse thrusters, armor plating to cover the reactor room from being burned, just in case, and then the beacon, which is nice. And here is the rear airlock. I was kind of thinking of removing this, but I've decided not to as of yet. I kind of like it. Having a rear airlock. It is better to have more than one weight into a ship. The Badger is a special case, because that's just a cargo ship. This is not just a cargo ship. I should have not impacted the ship. There. Yes, it's kind of a pain to deal with all of this. So now I can get the ship in there, but it is kind of a tighter squeeze. It is a bit bigger. But as you can see, it was clearly in there. It can easily fit. The connectors on the side here allow you to easily connect to whatever you want to hook up to get rid of all that cargo, whether that be a cargo vessel, in which case you're gonna have a little problem with the names. So if a cargo ship goes elsewhere, this connector here goes to the primary reactors. You can remove that if you have problems with safety or the turret. This panel here is intentionally here so you can connect to the crucible. That's where it was before I messed up. And that's why the camera's there, so you can dock with the crucible. I'm going to get back in and show that off. Goodbye, air. Let's see if I can try not hitting it this time. I'm going to take it nice and slow. It isn't easy to operate these ships. Button 8 here. There we are. Hello. Come on in. Where it's located, that should be pretty good. We're going to go up. And there we go. And now it's perfectly docked. Hey presto. And I'm going back out, so goodbye air. Yes, it does have a lot of air. So there we go. There's a bit of room, so you can get it on more locations. Which is nice. And yes, you can see there's plenty of room on the sides. You can dock it to the side if you wanted to. There is room to do so without hitting. That's why it has that shape. In fact, I'll prove that. I'm just going to leave that open for now. I'm going to show docking it to the side. We just line it up, center of the camera, with the welder. Then bring it on over. Down a little. Over, over, back it up. Over, over, over. You'll know when it hits. There we are. It's good to have a crew assisting with this operation. And as you can see, hey, it's not necessarily connected up very well, but it can sit there. You can move it up slightly or down slightly. It will lock in that position. And as you can see, there is plenty of clearance all around the ship, so it can be in this position. And oh look, is that by any chance enough room for another ship? I think there is. It's almost as if it was planned to be like that. What a thought. I just had to. It was green. Come on. Why won't it place? Okay. I guess I'll just have to pull it out and take it in. Oh, look at that. There's the second ship. And a window. It's a pretty good idea. Now, there is no reverse thruster. No, not thruster, reverse camera. You could call that a failure of design. I shouldn't have turned it, but okay. Don't call it a failure of design. It was actually not intended to have a reverse thruster and camera. Button 3. Here we are. Go down and take it in. And we're good. Wow, would you look at that? There's 2 of them in here. And there's still room in the middle. You could dock a small vessel up there. And oh, look at all that room underneath. It's as if I planned it like this. you did, of course. Yes. The Exhumer. A great mining support ship. Enough room for a few vessels. I'm going to be remaking the mining vessel. I'm going to keep the current mining vessel, but those aren't very maneuverable. I'm going to be making a new one that's a bit longer, so you're not going to be able to fit many of them. Maybe 3, unless you stack them up top. There'll be 6. However, yeah, I'm going to stack it up top. I just got to do stuff. With more of them, can come bigger problems, but more resources. So, well, actually, they won't fit because of height issues. So, the Exhumer. A mining support vessel meant to collect ore, and, well, they're cheap to build, easy to build, and they are frigate-sized ships. They're small. In fact, I might use something similar to this design or hull style when I build an actual frigate. And we'll see. I'm not there yet. And in case you're wondering of length, well, compared to the Crucible, you do remember the Crucible is like really big, right? I could probably have 4 of these things in the Crucible without anything else. I forgot the Mambo was there. Hello! Yeah. So, you can probably have 4 of these things without extending the Crucible. You might be able to get 8 of them if you have it extended. You can get 6 with it extended. Maybe 8. Good luck at 8. We'll see what happens. I am tired. So, I'll catch you all later with the SMDC. We're coming for you.